everybody, it's Mary, and I'm back to continue this unfolding saga, dramatic saga of the life of Gypsy Rose, Blanchard, Baby Aurora, Urker, and Ken Urker, Gypsy's partner. So where did we leave off? Okay, so basically what's going on is that Baby Aurora is highly protected. I'm even wondering if she has been born yet or not. Because I've seen her future, but when I try to look at her now, yeah, I can see her doing things with Gypsy, like, you know, baby things, baths, feedings, things like that. But I'm starting to wonder, like, if she just did Aurora come from her body? Did she perhaps acquire a baby? You know, just ask Meghan Markle, and she could probably send you to somebody who could, you know, get you a child or two to show the world. And they think that the world's going to believe that, you know. Allegedly, Meghan Markle did not give birth to, allegedly, Archie and Lilybucks, which is what I've called them since I knew about them. So, but this is about Gypsy and Aurora and Ken. So I promised that we would do the tarot for each of them, and some angel cards, some nice piping hot tea leaves, and possibly some more angel cards. And of course I have Gypsy's shadow deck. Of course. Oh, look at this. It's still stuck in this position. She is just refusing to budge. She is, I don't know, insanely telling herself that she's happy where she is. And I mean, look at her face. She looks like she's on drugs or something. And I have mentioned that, you know, I see possibly alcoholism or prescription drugs, but, you know, or medications, but she could be abusing them, not taking them as prescribed. She looks completely spaced out and kind of like soul crushed. Like, what? I had a baby. I was married. I want to marry Ken. Like, what was I? You know, I'm just soul crushed at this point. Like, but she would never admit it. This is the bottom of the deck. This is the shadows. This is the hidden part of Gypsy. So we'll get back to this deck. It speaks very well about what's going on with her. But first, okay, so let's recap really quickly. So Baby Aurora does exist. She is in Gypsy and Ken's possession. I don't know if she was born of Gypsy's body, or if they did some procedure, or, you know, I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm just, you know, that question is in my head now. Did Aurora come from Gypsy's body? And that I have no answer for right now. I'm not getting an answer. As I mentioned, Aurora is highly protected. One of her spirit guides is Yeshua, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and the Ascended Lady Mary, Jesus' mother. So she's also very close to Archangel Jophiel. Got this yellow color here. She's attached to Archangel Jophiel, and which is harmony with nature and the earth and animals. And she's also close to Raphael. You see, these are kind of like wings, angel wings, and they're green, which is a lot of green here. So and there's a bit of a conflict going on in her life because of Aurora's root chakra is kind of like lit up. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the seed of creativity and our like desires, like our base desires, kind of like I want a good meal, I want it to taste delicious, you want to make a painting, something like that. But Aurora is very healing the heart. And Raphael is the angel who heals. He heals the heart. And so this is what Aurora's is part of her soul mission, part of her soul contract, is to bring love, forgiveness, and resolution into the life of her mother Gypsy and Dee Dee, and going back generations. And I believe that Aurora has cousins. So this is, she has family, and you never know what's going on with the family. I think there's a documentary on YouTube, and like her Dee Dee's father and I think stepmother, or maybe she didn't live at home when her father got remarried, but they really trash talked her. Like no one wanted her ashes after she died. No one wanted her body. Like her family did not want her around. And yeah, so like that is part of Baby Aurora's soul mission, is to heal the hearts of the negativity, drama. Gypsy specifically does use love to hurt people, so did Dee Dee to an extent. Christy telling Gypsy that Ken called her. This is drama based on love, alleged love, because this is not real love. The only person who has any real love going on is Ken for his daughter, and that's what's going on. And Baby Aurora will grow up and step into her ascended self, and she will have good self-esteem. She will be powerful at whatever she chooses to do. We have the root chakra here again. She's going to be very passionate about some causes, perhaps again with Jophael, since Angel Jophael's colors are yellow, and we have more yellow here. We also have sacral chakra colors, and again the green for healing the heart, and sacral chakra is divine feminine power and energy, and here we have the root chakra colors, and so they're all basically in harmony. This is a very simple image, and that's kind of where Aurora is heading, to a quieter, more simple life, embodying the qualities of the Queen of Earth, or the Queen of Pentacles. And Aurora is going to be kind and understanding. She's going to be giving. She's going to be prosperous. She's going to have a good job. She's going to do well in school. She's healthy in that. She's healthy in her body and in her mind. She's very stable and grounded and true to her birth sign of Capricorn. Capricorns are extremely earthbound, and usually whatever it is they choose to do as a career, they are very successful. So, but most of all, Aurora is bringing in love. What's going on with Gypsy? Okay. According to the Akashic records, my journey to the Akashic realm, Gypsy is not a Holocaust survivor, excuse me. She died in one of the concentration camps in the Holocaust, and she was doing pretty well there for a while. I'm hearing they were Polish, and the Polish people were the first ones to get shipped off to the bigger functioning concentration camps, and most of them were in Eastern Germany and what is Poland, and some of the other countries like Czech Republic. Yeah, so Gypsy was killed by Nazis. She was starved in a concentration camp. She was good at organizing food and whatever, like if someone needed a blanket or an item of clothing or a nail for their shoe or something, or string. She was very good. Her and a small group of other women were very good at organizing these things, and it just, one day some Nazis decided to shoot this little group of women and throw them in a pit. So I find that very much like what Dee Dee allegedly did to Gypsy. She starved her. She told her she couldn't eat certain things. She did like kind of air quote experiments on Gypsy's body, having her salivary glands removed, having her teeth, all her teeth pulled out. I mean, that, I'm not saying Dee Dee's a Nazi. I'm just saying that there's a lot of correlations as to the suffering that Gypsy went through while her mother was still on the earth plane. And that's because Gypsy hasn't gotten rid of the karma that she collected in her past lives. So she's thinking about making powerful moves. She's dreaming about getting a third season, a fourth season with Lifetime, you know, life after lockup and without Ken. And yeah, she's actually, you know, fighting a chess game against herself. And again, this is her relationship status, you know, like, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Yeah, her higher good. I'm not talking about ascended self higher good. I'm talking about where she thinks is her highest good, which is like, give me money, give me attention, give me fame. You know, and this light that's right here, that's like Baby Aurora, or even Gypsy's own light. And even though this is a flower of life, sacred geometrical pattern, it's like, it looks like, to me, it looks like a really hardcore strainer, and you can't get through to the light. It's all blocked, you know. And she's applying force. Gypsy's applying force in the wrong direction, although she tells herself that she's strong. And she has built her own self-made prison with her plan to have a baby and go for marriage and being a stay-at-home mom / painter. That's not what she really wants. And that's kind of what I think she thinks she's supposed to say. You know, she started this, and she's good at following the trail so that she can cover her tracks. She's good at, you know, yeah, like I'm seeing a path in the forest right now, and she's not leaving breadcrumbs. Okay, she absolutely knows the birds and the wild animals will eat them. No, Gypsy has a piece of paper and a pencil, and she's making a map and looking at the sun and the stars, you know, like to determine how she's going to get through the woods. And, you know, and she will. She has, you know, the luck of the devil. Ken, on the other hand, is feeling the world. Ken was a Keystone cop with a handlebar mustache, 3 children and a wife during the Victorian age. I believe that he spent time in India as a soldier when Queen Victoria invaded India, and when his time was over in the military, in the army, he came back home to England and he became a police officer, and he absolutely stands by his convictions and the whole to protect and serve, which wasn't necessarily a motto in the Victorian age, but that essentially sums up what the police's motto is, and it's supposed to be to protect and serve. And Ken actually did genuinely care about people and want to protect them and serve his community and keep it crime free. Excuse me. He's living with a lot of hope. He also has a lot of angels watching over him. He's got the star, and this is Archangel Jophiel. You know, I can't make that up. He's the one that is bringing Jophiel and also star energy into this situation. I do believe that he may go for another 3rd and 4th season with Lifetime if they offer it to him. He doesn't mind being a star right now, but he does mind when the world starts judging him and is, you know, sending him messages and what he reads about himself on on social media or on TMZ or whatever, wherever he's getting his information. You know, he's feeling a lot of pressure from the world, and he's trying to find his way where he belongs. And yeah, he does stand up. He does have pride, but usually Gypsy is the one that says things like, you know, are you gonna let people get away with that or whatever, when she's the one talking to Ryan. Okay, so this is insane. But yeah, like, she's attacking Ken's pride. And eventually though, it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. And yes, Ken is going to go through this like spiritual transformation and have a very spiritually based life. And his means of income is going to be something like he has a Qigong or Tai Chi or yoga type studio. He's a teacher, and he helps people do that for a living with his wife, who is not Gypsy. His future wife is going to bring a lot of light into his life, and she truly loves him. She really is. I'm hearing he's going to have some trust issues after Gypsy, but his future wife, you know, look how she's holding the world so gently in her hands. So yeah, that's where we are right now. I don't believe Ken, I mean, we all collect karma over our past lives, but I think Ken is somehow ahead of the curve. I don't know what he's been since the Victorian age. I didn't really see that. I just saw that very clearly. You can see the previous video. Also, he's being given a gift. He's ready for it, like from the heavens. It's like a chalice. It is a chalice. And it's kind of like the holy grail of his life, and I believe it represents Aurora. Also Ken's future. It's golden, and he can navigate these waters that have, like, you know, not so nice water type creatures, and see, even the light is coming through. And he's right there next to the chalice that is for him, and he'll be able to get it eventually. You know, I don't see any, we'll see if it's coming quickly or slowly, but and it says, oh, actually it says falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. Yeah, Ken's getting out of there, away from Gypsy for sure, and he lives in hope and faith. Right now he is Christian, and it's not a fake Christianity, but I just see him like, I'm not saying he's worshiping other gods. You don't have to worship other gods to practice meditation and yoga and things like that. So, you know, maybe he will stay Christian. So before I started this reading, I was asking about Baby Aurora, and this is the deck I'm using. It's the Luna Lapin deck, my little bunny deck. And I was just thinking about Aurora and shuffling, and some cards fell out. I usually like to shuffle while I'm on camera, but today I decided to keep these cards because they're less than an hour old. I just did it, and I think the message is important, so let's go for it. Okay, so what can we learn about what's going on with Aurora while she is a baby right now? You know, she is completely dependent on her caregivers, her parents, Gypsy and Ken, and whoever else is. Maybe she has a babysitter, I don't know. But yeah, so what is I mean, the energy around Aurora is she is highly protected, and she has a pink aura associated with Archangel Chamuel, which is like pure love. But the thing is that just because you're protected doesn't mean that you can't get hurt. It's like they're guiding her path. They're making sure that she's going to get through this and this situation that she's in, that she was born into. So, but then everyday life happens every day. So let's see. Right, so we have the Four of Pentacles. It's not looking good. We have the Three of Wands. We have Knight of Swords. a small table. We have the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Oh God. Oh Lord, have mercy, please. Whoa. Yes, I really do have a small table. I'm gonna have to move some of these decks. Okay, we'll take away the Blue Angel for now. We can put that back later. So we have the 9 of Swords. Anxiety, she doesn't sleep well, she's worried in her soul. Aurora, if she could speak, she might say she's anxious. She doesn't sleep well. I'm hearing colic. She might be colicky. Gypsy doesn't really give that much care to Aurora's needs, honestly. She does it out of fear, and she does it because she wants to appear like a good mother, so she can get more acclaim and praise and things like that. But when the cameras are off and behind closed doors, she'll let Aurora just cry for hours. She'll leave Aurora scared and alone. I'm also hearing that she's just afraid of the dark. And so, okay, and then we have an extra card for this deck, which is Moonlight. That's nice. The Aurora's got like spiritual entities on her side. The goddess power of the moon, the goddess energy of the moon. We have the 2 of Swords. And finally, and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so what is going on here? Let's move this over here for now. Get her away from Gypsy. Okay, so basically what's going on here is that I've often said this, that Aurora is seen almost like a cash cow to Gypsy. There's a lot of greed going on. This is Gypsy, but it's also in a way Aurora. Aurora is clinging to these the material things that Gypsy puts in her hands. So eventually when she does show pictures or whatever, she'll look prosperous and that she's a good mom and bought her lots of toys and things like that. But Gypsy is extremely greedy. She doesn't want to give, she wants more money actually, and she wants to get it through using Aurora. And Aurora is soon going to be ready to be making moves to, this is not good. It's really not good, but I can't stop reading once I start. Aurora is going to be very quickly going to be making strides with her own unique personality and moving out into the world. So I'm getting right now that Gypsy is going to put her in like some nursery school before like pre-K, pre-kindergarten. And so, yeah, like Aurora would be moving out into the world. But notice that her back, the bunny is back is to the camera. I mean, to us, excuse me, to us. And just the bunny, I would guess, is watching the ship sail by. And I feel this longing that the bunny wants to be on that ship. The bunny wants to be on its way. The bunny wants to get away from Gypsy. Aurora wants to get away from Gypsy. You know, even right here, look at the 3 flags, right? And one of them is cut off, right? Who would do that to a sweet little innocent bunny slash baby Aurora? Gypsy would. But how soon, you know, this is going to be happening soon, that she's going to be moving out. There's a lot of fast energy going on here. The beginning of some kind of journey, which also may have to do with Ken, because Ken is a Libra, which is air sign, Swords. And yeah, like he's kind of on a quest to do what's right for her, and he's going to do it quickly. He does care about her, and he wants what's best for her. And he's the one that's being like her knight for her. And he makes rational choices. He didn't make a good choice when he went back to Gypsy, but he's going to be making better choices. And these choices are going to affect how Aurora appears to the world and how Aurora starts to go out into the world and fit herself into that role. Meanwhile, Aurora at night is scared. Also, Gypsy is scared. Gypsy, even though this is Aurora's cards, Gypsy's the one that's holding on to Aurora for money, for fame, for drama. And she doesn't know what to do with her. She doesn't. She doesn't really know what to do with her. She got her, and now she doesn't really. She's like, you can't. Sorry, there's no return policy on human beings after they're born. You can't return them. So Gypsy worries about this, but also Aurora picks up on Gypsy's negative energy, and she's almost like an energy vampire. Because she's living off of Aurora's energy, and it's affecting Aurora as well. Also to the effect that I can't say that Aurora what she thinks, but she doesn't even want to see what's going on with her parents or with her mother. Her mother, Gypsy, is going to try to block Ken off from seeing Aurora, and that's not going to work. And Aurora doesn't want to see that happen. She doesn't want to face that. She's going to be exposed to that. She doesn't want to face it, and it makes her anxious because she loves her father very much. She loves Ken very, very much. She's a very loving little person, and so she's surrounded by greed, possibly even addiction, and she wants to get out of there. It doesn't matter. She's not a year old yet, she still has feelings. She just can't express them, perhaps. She wants to get out. She wants to get away from Gypsy and this anxiety. And Aurora can't see everything because she's just a baby, but she's being blocked by Gypsy. And see, this is the kind of not so great part. The Ten of Swords. It's good, but it's sad. There has to be a death of some sort, in the sense of, like, what I'm hearing is that the family has to fall apart. So Ken and Gypsy, their relationship has to fall apart, and Ken has to go his own way and then come back and hopefully get custody of Aurora, like live in custody of Aurora. Okay, so there is a symbolic death. I also hear, and I'm hearing it again, I heard it before, that Gypsy might do something insane and actually be the one to execute Munchausen by proxy. And oh, look at that, we lost Aurora. And that is a horrible, evil thing to do, and I don't even like thinking about that. But it could, but this is not usually literal death. It's just a symbolic death, and you see the sun is rising again, or setting, but I see it as rising. And you see the nice all earthy tones here, and again the orange with the sacral chakra, and the yellow of the moon, which is, she's very bright. I mean, sorry, the sun, and it's very bright. So yeah, the next card is the Eight of Wands. So this mini death, this mini transformation for Aurora is coming soon. It could be 8 weeks, 8 months. The other reading I did with the tea leaves that said next October. So yeah, like maybe months, about 8 months from now, that these changes are going to come into effect. In the meantime, Aurora's like already thinking like she wants to get away from Gypsy and get away from this world, and that she's in with Gypsy, and Gypsy doesn't want, she doesn't want to let go of Aurora in a very superficial way. She really wouldn't mind if, somebody came and took Aurora off her hands. Maybe like a 24/7 babysitter type situation. Here we go, his son. This is good. So yes, because this is how I see Aurora's future. She's sorry, small table. So we have the bunny in the sun. This is one of the most positive cards anyone could ever get in a tarot reading. And it's just a giant, huge yes. She's prosperous, she's abundant, she has more than she could ever need. She's riding a pure white horse in her own right, looking up at the sun, looking up at the sky. Not a cloud in the sky, not a worry, she's not worried anymore. She's, you know, she even has this little wall here, so it's like, yeah, try getting in to hurt me, Mom. Not really gonna happen, you know. Baby Aurora is gonna be living in the sunlight and not in the darkness. I know we had that moon card, but it was like a full moon, and that's very powerful as well. It's just a softer energy than the sun, and I don't see it as being used in a kind of dark way in Aurora's life. And I don't even know where that card went. It must have fallen. So that's okay. There are no accidents. So thank you for the data. But yeah, she'll be moving on. You know, she started, yeah, like by next October. She'll be almost 2, and she'll have more of a personality base and more likes, dislikes, what she wants to do, and there'll be more progress for sure. So, oh yeah, we had the Knight of Wands coming in here to help Aurora. I believe that's Ken. And yeah, so this mini death, this transformation is going to come in swiftly, almost unexpectedly. Like Gypsy gets caught talking or being with Ryan or something, and Ken's like, that's it, I'm taking the baby, I'm leaving. Something to like that, you know. And then ultimately Aurora is going to have a beautiful, happy, sunshine life. You know, it's a good thing that maybe I dropped the moon card. You know, we don't need those shadows. She doesn't need more shadows in her life. I don't even see that card. I don't know where it went, but the card knows where it went. My spirit guides and angels and the energy that I channeled, they're like, nah, you don't need that card, not for this. So it's looking pretty okay for Baby Aurora. I feel that she's basically, you know, hostage to Gypsy's greed and possible active addiction. But, you know, what can I do about that? You know, what can any of us do? A child protective rig came in to investigate, and there's not much that can happen because they didn't find anything. Okay, so for Gypsy, I decided to be nice and neutral and just use my one of my just plain Rider-Waite decks. So what is Gypsy really feeling about Baby Aurora? How does she feel about being in the role of a mother? You know, how does she treat Baby Aurora? What's really going on? What do we not know about that you can tell us about Gypsy in relation to Baby Aurora? And Ken, I guess, and all the plans she sets up. Always planning. Okay. Ah, 2. Okay, so we've got 5 cards, I believe. For Gypsy, we'll put these cards right here so I can grab them again if necessary. Okay, let's go. Gypsy, the Knight of Swords. Oh, interesting. We have, oh my goodness, no marriage, shunned out of the community. The Hierophant, organizations, higher learning, religious structures. In the Middle Ages, the church had a lot of power even to put people in prison or lock them up. Try them as a witch. I believe Gypsy may have been tried as a witch in a past life. I got that during the first reading I did, that part 1 of this reading. I got that towards the end, that she might have been, I don't know where. I was getting kind of like maybe Spain, but definitely she was part of the Inquisition, and she was either burned at the stake or she caused many people to be burned at the stake. And see, Gypsy would be then the Hierophant. You know, This would be Gypsy. Also, the church is not gonna accept her marriage. She's not. She's, yeah. Also, in some other past life of Gypsies, I'm getting very clearly now too that in a time when you had to get the church's permission to get married, it was denied to her, and because of that, she's held on to her not delusion, but her fantasy of getting married because she was denied, and she could not get away from it. So again, we have the independent woman. This is Gypsy's true motives. You know, yeah, she needs a guy around to bully and stuff, you know, make her ego feel good, but really what she wants is, you know, the self-reliant, independent woman. You know, she's a fighter too. Hawks were used as weapons in the Middle Ages. It wasn't just a sport. They would train hawks to like take out someone's eyes or go at their throat and things like that in war. So that little tidbit of information might have some relevancy here for Gypsy, but you know, this is what she's going for. She doesn't feel this now. She doesn't feel, she's not a single independent woman. She's I mean, technically she's single, but she's partnered, and she's independent, but only so much as, you know, she's able to mix around with influential people and famous people and get contracts done and things like that. So she does have this. I mean, we're still talking about her, and, you know, the trial's over, and, you know, and still we're all talking about Gypsy and what's going on. This is interesting, very interesting. This is the Ten of Pentacles, which is legacy, family, money, stability, like with your family, and like you could leave somebody a house. Excuse me. Also, I'd like to call attention to this castle house in the background. I did see Gypsy living in some sort of like medieval castle. It's not literal. It's just, she's all alone with lots of turrets and towers and stuff, and she just goes up them and stands up there and just screams into the wind like a banshee, you know. And no, but this is actually really hopeful and good. Right now she is trying to make the illusion of having a happy family. There's only one child in this picture, which is accurate, and one of Aurora's grandparents is looking over her, kind of keeping an eye on Gypsy and keeping an eye on Aurora. And also Archangel Jophiel, before mentioned, you know, it's like here Aurora's really gonna like animals. She may do something. I said she's probably gonna help people like in a therapy type role, but there's also therapists and doctors for animals' mental health as well, pets and stuff, for babies. So, and I was getting that feeling too, that like she's really gonna be into animals, and like domesticated animals, dogs, cats. Maybe I don't really see her being a vet. I see her more as like really hands-on, petting a dog, petting a cat, calming it down, petting a rabbit. Yeah, Gypsy can't really hurt Aurora in the long run. Okay, she's not getting married. We have two Knight of Swords right next to each other, so this is coming in fast. Ken is going to come and try to take Aurora with him and leave. And absolutely with the Three of Wands here. Even though it's not, this is Aurora's deck, she's attached to these people because they're her parents. So, and this energy is coming in fast too. He's not going to marry Gypsy. This is the church, flat out. No. Church has nothing to do with it. Doesn't give their approval. Not that she's getting a traditional wedding like that, but it's just very symbolic again. It's like, no, not even the church will allow her to get married. And so she puts on this happy face, you know, I'm very content being single and prosperous. And a stay-at-home single mom painter. No, not really. Actually, this could even be Ken's future wife and Ken and whomever his parents are. I said any of Aurora's grandparents can be watching over. This also could be a figure of like the old-fashioned notion of God with the old man with the beard and the white hair and stuff. And yeah, Aurora's very innocent. It also could be Ken with his new wife, who is not Gypsy. No. But this is also Gypsy's pile. So I'm getting right now that she will be back in her family's presence, but it's going to take time. This is the 10 of Pentacles. You know, it takes from the Ace to 10 to get to 10. There's 10 steps, you know, 10 phases. And so eventually Gypsy might have family support, and I'm hearing inheritance from her family. Now, I don't believe they have money, but, you know, definitely support and love. So, and they do it because they love Aurora. And they do feel kind of bad for Gypsy a little, but they also are like, look, you made your bed. So, you know, but it seems that in the distant future, Gypsy might be able to pull it together. But for now, no. Ken is leaving, for sure. He's out. And this benefits Aurora well, because you see Gypsy is single. She's looking in one direction, and the bunny is looking in the opposite direction, almost. They're not even looking at each other. They don't have to. Ken is going to get her out of there. That's the mini death. Aurora moving. And it may feel painful to Aurora, you know, to be taken away from her mother or her family, part of her family. But, you know, she's going to get over it. And this is going to happen swiftly. Once it's set in motion, that's it. It's going to happen very quickly. So let's see what's going on with Ken. Oh, I had to glance at the shadow card, did I not? The King of Wheels, the King of Pentacles. You know, he does really exhibit a lot of earth energy, grounded, stable energy. It's usually when he's trying to do whatever he thinks Gypsy wants him to do that he kind of fumbles around and mumbles, and kind of Gypsy's the planner and Ken kind of just goes along with it. I'm seeing him like he's a hostage. I know I've used this word before, but like literally, like I see him like in almost like a jumpsuit type of thing. Like, I don't know what they do in the Middle East when they have a hostage, and you know, off camera someone's holding a gun to their head, like, you know, hostage. So, and Ken is being very cautious and careful because the whole world, social media and everything, is watching him and everything he does as a father. And he does have pride in being a father. That is something he wants to do well, and he will, he can, just not while Gypsy's around giving him a script with a kind of not nice smile. Okay, those cards don't want to come out. They're a little sticky. So maybe Ken's energy is like, okay, we've done enough. Get away from me. Give me a break. Give me a break. So we just need, I'm asking for, okay. Ah, 2. Okay, good. We can do, yeah, it's getting a little messy here now, but that's the energy when the cameras are off. And look, Ken doesn't want to be read anymore. His energy doesn't want to be read. You saw that? The card just like flew across over there. You know, they kind of jumped on their own. I did not cause that to happen. That's Ken. He wants out. Get me out of this drama, this insanity. He doesn't know how to do it yet. So he's partially stay and Aurora. We have the Fool, beautiful. We have the Knight of Wheels and Knight of Pentacles, excellent. We're gonna go right over these other cards from yesterday. Excuse me for one moment. Oh, we have the King of Wheels again. He has a lot of grounded earth energy, like doubly so. He's growing into it too. He's absolutely growing into this earth energy, and this is a new chapter for him. As I said before, Aurora moving out into the world, and Ken being the one to protect her and watch over her and make sure that that happens, and that she has a healthy, happy childhood, at least on his watch. When Gypsy shuts the door, who knows? I mean, we have an idea. So Ken keeps getting the Fool card as well. So he's getting like a reset. And he's going to be starting out as a Knight of Pentacles. This is earth energy. It's stability. It's foundational. It's security. It's in harmony with nature, your own nature, money, your health, you know. But this is a Knight. And it's the beginning of a journey. But very quickly, he is going to assume or get into the role of being the King of Wheels, the King of Pentacles. This is, you know, where his Fool's journey is going to lead him. You know, he is going to have to leave not having all the answers he'd like to have. You know, he'll be worried about doing the right thing for Aurora, doing the right thing for himself, his family. But he doesn't really have to worry. He has a lot of, he makes very stable plans, which is why he's kind of still trapped with Gypsy right now. He doesn't have a stable plan right this minute, you know. Ace of Wheels. Wow, Ken is really blessed, you know. He is ready to start earning a lot of money. Somebody might get, like, kind of give him a fresh start. Like, yeah, the Fool. And he's maybe to write a book about his experiences, you know, what it's like to be the father of Aurora and the near husband of Gypsy Rose. And we have the Hangman here. So this is actually really good. Yeah, so basically what's going on with Ken is he gets this great reset where he can start his life fresh. Aurora will be, you know, part of this, his aspirations to have her with him. But while he's going through that process, he's going to have to go through family court. This is Gypsy's pile here. She's not even going to win in family court, okay? Ken will. It's not just a marriage card. And so he goes from a Knight to a King relatively quickly. We have fast movement. We have, he is the Knight of Swords in Aurora's life. Fast movement and getting it together. Stable household. You know, absolutely, like he goes out dating or goes on a dating app, he's like, bam, people are hitting on his, you know, profile often because he looks, and he is, stable and prosperous. He's a good father. He's level-headed. He methodically does things and he gets them done, and he's being, even the heavens recognize they're giving him a gift. He's getting a gift from someone, a financial gift, and this is all because he's had a change of view. He's decided to surrender to the experience, you know. In surrendering, quite often a person gains a lot of power instead of continuing the fight. When there's a war and two sides are fighting, the one that surrenders, because it's gonna go on and people are going to keep getting killed and it's going to get worse and worse. So the side that surrenders is the more noble side. It's the side that cares more about peace and harmony. And there's great power in that, in peacefulness and not actual fighting. That's just an illusion. How many dead people are around? And again, I'm seeing Gypsy, and this time I'm not seeing the Holocaust or her either accusing people of witchery and working with the church, the Spanish Inquisition church. I mean, that is really draconian. But Gypsy she's a piece of work. We have some tea leaves here for Ken excuse me, Aurora, Gypsy, and Ken. These are sticking out. So we'll take these tea leaves and see anything more specific going on. I don't have any astrology stuff going on right this minute with them. My brain is tired. Oh, although I think I said this, that Aurora's life path, if I didn't tell you this, her birthday adds up to the number 9, which is completion. So again, I said this in the previous video to this, she is going to bring about the end of generational curses, generational illnesses. It ends with Aurora. And that is her soul mission and her life mission as well. It's also, she's quiet too. In the tarot, 9 is the hermit, and that would be the quality she embodies, you know, this wizard, Gandalf like wizard, or like Dumbledore wizard. She's not like out loud in your face. She's reserved, and she just is studious, and she's happy, but she's not drama ridden. She's not like, look at me, you know. She's like the hermit, and when needed, she goes out into the community and she helps the hobbits, and she'll fight Sauron or she'll fight Voldemort, you know. But like her mom, she'll fight her mom if necessary. She would stand up and do the right thing. So let's see what the tea leaves have to say. Oh, Bo, Ken got this the other day. Like, you know, like I really believe that, you know, Aurora is Ken's daughter. I don't know if she was born from Gypsy's body, but there's a very strong connection, energetic connection that I cannot express to you. You'd have to feel the energy. Like I can literally feel the air, and the hairs on my arms are standing up right now. Ken and Aurora have an amazing relationship, and it's going to deepen. So you are highly thought of. Of course she is. She's thought of a lot, but also she is going to be, I always see her in, not with a ponytail, with pigtails though, with ribbons. Someone took the time to give her pink ribbons. And pale. Time to get out of a situation. Yeah, absolutely. Leaving, going on a journey, in this case, you know, with her dad. Time to get out of a situation. What do we have here? We have this anxiety gonna be gone. This situation that is causing a mini death, it's already in motion. In small ways, it's going to happen very quickly. The only thing is that she doesn't want to know about this. She doesn't need to. She's a baby. She doesn't need to remember these things. But time to get out of a situation. Yeah, she is. She's gonna be successful at that. I just keep seeing her like going to nursery school or like some kind of community center for children who are about 2.5, 3 years old. So she is getting out, and all the kids love her, and her parent, and not the parents, excuse me, and her parents love her. No, Gypsy doesn't 100% love her the way a normal mom would. I don't know. I don't know how else to say that, but okay. So we have Gypsy here, and what do we have? So yeah, Aurora is getting out of this situation. Look at that broken down pail on the rocks, and you know, it's empty. It's Gypsy, and she'll dress her up in ribbons and then pour out all the water, you know. Okay, spiritual love, Lily. This is interesting because with Nicholas, she claimed that through a Wiccan ceremony that she and Nick were spiritually married. And I don't want to give the Wiccans a bad name. I've heard of other people who believe in Jesus and God, Christians who also believe in spiritual marriages. So, you know, Gypsy uses this ploy, spiritual love, to manipulate men. And her mother does love her. It doesn't just have to be like with these men. Her mother does love her from the other side, but there's not much DD can do. She's on the other side. And we have Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should never cross. This is Gypsy. I don't think I need to say any more about that. Okay, so this is Ken. Wow, we got 4. Whoa. Oh my goodness, look at this. Dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. I do believe Gypsy's hair is brown again. She is not. He is not marrying her. I said this in the last reading, actually, the reading that preceded this one, that he already may have his eye on somebody else. You know, you meet a lot of people on sets, TV sets, film sets, you know, and someone has caught his eye. Or it could just be, nah, it's a woman. It's not Aurora. It's not Aurora when she grows up. Or Gypsy might dye her hair blonde again or white, you know. Like, I went white, actually, with my hair. It's like platinum. I want it as white as possible, you know. But it's, you can just change it so easily. This woman, I feel very strongly, is... Actually, I'm feeling that Gypsy is going to pull crazy tricks on him, like dye her hair blonde and try to look sexier somehow. Because she's going to want Ken back at some point, and it's too late. Ken's already met his fair woman. Okay, on his journey, on his fool's journey, Skull. Yeah, hidden secrets can harm you. He does know the truth about Gypsy, what she's capable of doing, allegedly unaliving her mother. He knows. Secrets. You're as sick as your secrets, too. You know, this is really making him feel sick inside. Oh, my goodness. My solar plexus, my stomach, I feel nauseous, I feel sick. Yeah, the secrets are making him sick. We have Broom. Oh, yeah, new home. New attitude. Yeah, so this moving out, time to get out of a situation, new home, new attitude. Yeah, he's brushing Gypsy under the carpet. Absolutely. Goodbye. Goodbye, Gypsy. Goodbye. And the Knight of Pentacles, I'm leaving. I am now the King of Pentacles. Goodbye. Stay away from me. You know, stay out of my kingdom. I will have you thrown in a dungeon, you know. And he has a whole different point of view now. He's seeing things from a different perspective. He's in the middle of a teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So that's nice because, you know, Ken went on a fishing trip or weekend with the guys or something, or his family, something, a little fishing weekend trip, and Gypsy had a meltdown. Of course, she can't show that on camera, so we're going to watch her ironing baby clothes and, you know, talking into a camera. And what she's really doing is she's trying to send a message of, like, look at me at home being a good housewife while he's out having fun with his friends. And to my way of thinking, men go fishing. Men go play sports with each other. Men do things together. You know, I say this, I know a lot of young people. Like I said, I out myself here. I go to AA, and basically, I like working with newcomers, young people, and I always tell them to, you know, find friends in the rooms, friends who are sober, you know, so they can help them on their journey and friendships and stuff. And I'm not saying that Ken is in AA. I'm just saying that he's making healthier friendships with men, and he's already tried. And, you know, Gypsy has a meltdown, goes on social media, you know, gonna prove like she's a long-suffering housewife or whatever, make her choice of partner look bad. That makes her look bad. You know, she can make her man look bad, and how does that make her look? She's pulling some victim mentality. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so, oh, this is in reverse, but wow. This is the Indigo Angel deck and Oracle deck, and this is Baby Aurora's card, and it is Archangel Michael. Look at that. Yeah, highly, highly protected. She'll be able to execute her soul mission for sure, because she's got Jophael, she's got Chamuel, she's got Michael, who knows who else she has that I haven't seen, and she has Yeshua, she has Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and the Ascended Lady Mary. And I'm getting also one of her grandparents, probably her grandmother, maybe on her father's side, I'm not sure which side. Gypsy's angel card, self-reflection. Yeah, even like Raphael is right in her face saying, like, could you please let us help you heal your heart, please? Because she's affecting other people. Look at her face. It's not just self-reflection. It's like she doesn't want to look up. She doesn't want to look at us. She's looking down. And, you know, yeah, it's the angels. This is the Indigo angels, but the blue angels, St. Michael is in her background. You know, he is also, he's in the household, you know, his energy, where Aurora is. And you know, this is just a call for Gypsy to be more self-reflective, honestly self-reflective, because she's being fake and phony, unless she's complaining, in which case that really is her. Yeah, she does have spiritual love. She is loved, but she can't see it. I know it says self-reflection. It looks like this woman is reflecting, but no, I'm getting the feeling that she does not want to do self-reflection. She just wants to close her eyes. Just like, how can I do this? Where is it? I need a much bigger table. Where is it? Just like Gypsy is causing anxiety and stress. This is Aurora. She doesn't want to look at it. She's looking down, you know, and this is what Gypsy is bringing into her life. And this as well. See, Aurora, Gypsy doesn't want Aurora to see who she really is. So let's put a blindfold on her and block her off from thinking too much and making her own decisions in life as she grows and can speak what her thoughts and feelings are, make them more known. So Ken's card, I don't know, I have a conflict. I have this one, divine purpose. Absolutely, absolutely. So you know, Aurora has a divine purpose, but how did Aurora come into being with Ken? She's his daughter. That is his purpose. His purpose was to bring healing and love into Gypsy's life. I don't know about his past and his past karma, but his past life is also being rearranged, his karma. He's getting rid of his negative karma. A rainbow also shows that all your chakras are in alignment. Yet again, here is this, he's working kind of like with chakras or healing energy and stuff. He already had the star card, the angel, so he does have angel watching over him, but right now he is feeling kind of beaten down and not strong enough to leave, right? But he's thinking about it, and he is watched over anyway. He's doing the work little by little. It's coming, you know, and he will be able to execute his divine purpose because he's gonna have a new home, a new attitude. Hidden secrets can harm you. He's gonna open his mouth at some point when it won't disturb Aurora. It won't affect her negatively. He's already, you know, not gonna marry Gypsy for sure. And yeah, he's fulfilling his divine purpose. And of course, it's in purple. You know, he's gonna be in alignment and in tune with, you know, his third eye chakra, his head chakra, which leads directly to infinite source and source energy. And once again, the police are driving around, and I don't know, it seems that when I do readings on Gypsy and I'm talking about what Ken getting his life together and stuff, oh, I don't think so. I think Gypsy might step in and try to have the cops, like, you know, accuse Ken of like things that are not so nice. And then this card was just calling to me, and the deck, it was sticking out, and it's, you already know. So Ken, yeah, he is quite aware of what Gypsy is capable of, who she is. He already knows that he can be a good dad. He already knows these things. He's just making the plan to execute his divine purpose. So he is sure, and that goes well with the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. You know, it's very stable, grounded energy, and he knows what to do. He's just having a little bit of trouble getting on his feet. In the meantime, Aurora, you know, Gypsy, yes, does little hurtful things to her, like pinch her or let her be uncomfortable longer than she has to be, but Ken is on top of this. He's going to find these things out sooner or later, and then that's it. He's just gonna leave. Just let me take Aurora. How does Aurora get out of there? Daddy's gonna put her on a horse and get her out of there, a Knight of Swords, and it's gonna happen very quickly. She is getting out. She is. So this is what Ken's purpose is, to raise Aurora, because she's going to bring a lot of love, healing, and forgiveness and resolution into her family, and then it's an extension into the world. That's who she is. She's surrounded by these angels: Michael, Chamuel, Jophiel, Raphael, and Jesus, and Mary, and the Marys. So yeah, that's what we have for now about baby Aurora. Maybe it is good that she can't see. I'm also getting a feeling right here now that possibly, as I said, it's a possibility that this baby is not of Gypsy's body. Maybe she sold Ken on the idea that, you know, hey, he could go to like a fertility clinic or something like that, and like use another woman for a surrogate, and the baby isn't Gypsy. Gypsy did not give birth to the baby, but they paid somebody else to do it, and Gypsy thought that this would bring her great wealth and success and fame through this, because it's no longer, she knows getting married and having babies is not going to work. She's greedy, she's probably drinking, and she's not thinking clearly, and she wants to accumulate as much money and fame as possible. So maybe it's a good thing that baby Aurora can't see. And what I was saying is, like, yeah, maybe she isn't Gypsy's daughter, biological. I don't know why she would take care of her, but it's like I said, cash cow. It's money. Aurora brings money and fame into, continued fame into Gypsy's life, and she could be blinded from that fact, but she's very close. Even though the swords are crossed and blocking the bunny figure, which would be Gypsy blocking Aurora from getting close to her father, nonetheless, the bunny is brave and is touching the swords. For all we know, in the next second, there's a snapshot picture. Maybe the bunny is gonna move the swords apart and go looking, take the mask off. You know, I don't believe this bunny in this particular case put that mask on. Not that the bunny even needs it, you know. Aurora has very good intuition. We had that full moon card before. I don't know where it went. But in the earlier reading also, you know, I talked about her balancing the divine masculine and feminine energy. So she is in tune with her divine feminine energy, intuition. It's, you know, it's a softer kind of way of doing things, but still filled with great power. You know, this is goddess energy. So not this card, but just the moon gives off goddess energy. And so yeah, that's what I see for now. Dee Dee is nowhere to be seen. She's quiet right now. Maybe my last reading scared her, I don't know. But this is where we stand right now. But things are going to be happening soon. And you know, Ken could take Baby Aurora and leave, and they could still film a third and fourth season of Life After Lockup, but I don't think Ken's really going to be on board with that. I think he's going to get some sort of windfall. It's just going to kind of come out of nowhere. He wasn't expecting it. And then he uses it wisely. Or because he's making rational, wise decisions and following his inner nature and being true to himself and his child, someone recognizes this in him and gives him a golden opportunity. So, you know, that's a good thing. So this is gonna happen. Like I said, it could be 8 weeks, it could be 8 months, but now I'm not seeing any numbers. I don't know when this is gonna happen. I'm now seeing number 3, maybe within 3 months. I doubt very much Ken would do any shows with Gypsy at this point, like long-term series. But even if he did, the timing is different. When they shoot the story and by the time it comes out, usually they have to do post-production, so it takes time. And Ken might just feel like, oh, I need the money or something just so he can get on his feet. It would be, you know, what it's I mean, he expresses it's difficult to have people invading his privacy all the time and his daughter's privacy, but other people see being on camera as a very easy way to make money, a gift. But that's not, I'm not getting it from there. It's like somebody I don't see, I don't know who it is arranging. I'm hearing God's arranging it for him, but it'll be arranged through someone else. So yeah. And he's going to take Aurora with him, and Gypsy is left with an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. That is herself. I wonder what the astrological sign for the year she was born in the Chinese calendar. I wonder if it's the rooster. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But yeah, like, the Gypsy has to live with herself, and she's not happy. Not truly. She doesn't even know where to go looking for her happiness. And yeah, like I said, she's been in a castle type situation where she runs around the hallways like, you know, screaming to the air, kind of, because no one else is around. And you know, but at the same time, she's not completely alone, because she can communicate with her mother. It's just she doesn't want to. But in the future, she probably will. Spiritual love. And she's got that hanging over her head. You know, anytime Nick wants to say so, it's true. It's said in many documentaries about her that she told Nicholas that she performed a Wiccan ceremony that united them as spiritual husband and wife. So, you know, according to Nicholas, they're married. According to the laws of, if she really did use Wiccanism, then she's married. If she did it right. But again, I don't want to talk too much about that, because I don't want to give Wiccans a bad name. You know, they're actually really good people, and they don't do a lot of spells to hurt people or control people. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, what religion or spiritual tradition you follow. If that's what you're going to do to people, you know, hurt them, use them, get what you want, using dark magic, the dark arts, let's say, it doesn't even matter. Wiccans get a bad rap. So okay, so this is what we have for now, and I already told you about the Akashic Records. As far as Aurora, I can see her up until I seen the number 18. Again, that adds up to 9 completion, and she's graduating high school, and she's very she's tall. She's not as short as Gypsy. She's about her father's height, Ken's height, and she does have like brown hair, light brown hair perhaps, and she's very happy, but she's very subtle. She's very humble. You know, there might be somebody at her graduation or whatever saying like, aren't you Aurora Urker, Gypsy Rose's daughter? You know, and she would just gracefully know how to shut that drama down. And as a child, I already said that though, Ken's going to be taking her amusement parks, and she likes the color pink. I see her always in pigtails, ribbons around her hair, not red, but pink. She likes the color pink, and they go on nature walks and things like that. And she loves nature too, and animals. And yeah, she's going to be okay. As soon as Ken moves and gets custody, like living arrangement custody, where Aurora gets to live with Ken. I mean, Gypsy's too busy, you know, being a single mom and like making bank for her and her baby, a good life. No, that doesn't always work in family court. That can backfire against you. Ken is willing to let me have a home-based business where, you know, people come over and meditate and do yoga and stuff, and my daughter is in the room right over there. You know, it's not that he's like watching over her like 24/7. He's actually a really good dad. He knows how to flow with it. He is more than happy to change Aurora's diapers. He's more than happy to give her a bath. He's more than happy to rock her to sleep at night or whatever, or calm her anxieties. He enjoys these things. This Gypsy won't let us see this side of him. But now we know. So, with that said, I'm going to end this reading now because there's too many cards. There's too much mess going on here. The energy is getting all messed up and, you know, intertwined. And the goal is Ken and Aurora leave. And Gypsy here, she can stay in the middle alone, you know. But I just heard the name Ryan in my head. I know in the last video I called Scott. I mean, excuse me, Scott. Who's Scott? Somebody else is trying to come through. I wonder who Scott is. But, yeah, I called Ken Ryan once accidentally. This is really drains my energy. I'm not complaining. I'm so grateful. Thank you for letting me channel and read for you. I appreciate all the comments. Please let me know what you think of this reading in the comments below. I try to get back to everybody. And I'm just really grateful that we're here and we care about this child and the truth and exposing the truth. I believe that, you know, we have a nice space here on this channel, and, you know, we care about this child. So that's a nice ending, and I believe it's true. So with that said, I wish you much love, many blessings, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye.